They called it Vault Echo, a myth whispered among thieves, a black site buried beneath the dead moon where no alarms rang and no guards patrolled. The vault didn't need them. It remembered, and when Rook accepted the contract, he knew exactly why it paid so much. ECHO wasn't designed to keep people out. It was designed to punish those arrogant enough to believe they deserved what was inside. Rook had earned that arrogance over decades of perfect crimes, of stolen identities and erased trails. Cities robbed without ever knowing they'd been touched. That history walked with him as he docked his ship. He was joined by Lyra, the system's ghost, Hale, the muscle with a past soaked in blood, and Finch, the rookie whose hands still shook before a job. As the airlock sealed behind them, the vault activated, not with lights or sirens, but with a soft voice, unsettlingly calm. "Welcome back," it said. A chill ran down Rook's spine. No system should know him. The doors opened into a corridor of polished obsidian, where their reflections lagged a half-second behind, as if thinking before copying. Lyra whispered that the vault wasn't scanning for weapons or biometrics. It was scanning memories, sensing neural patterns, pulling crime data from somewhere that shouldn't exist. The first defense didn't fire lasers or release gas. It simply rearranged the hallway into the exact layout of Rook's first robbery, the bank in New Carthage, where he de-learned fear tasted like metal. Down to the cracked tile and the flickering light. Finch panicked, swearing they'd turned around, but Rook knew better. The vault wasn't recreating space, it was recreating guilt. As doors locked behind them, the vault spoke again. Crime establishes familiarity. Familiarity establishes access. The floor split open, forcing Hale to jump a gap that mirrored the alley where he once left a man bleeding. When Hale hesitated, the vault projected the man's face into the darkness below, eyes open, accusing. Hale slipped, barely catching the edge, screaming not from pain, but from recognition. Rook dragged him up, knowing the vault was escalating. Its logic was cruelly elegant. The better the criminal, the deeper the personalization. The defenses stopped being traps and started being conversations. Doors only opened if you remembered details of crimes you tried to forget. Locks responded to shame rather than codes. Rooms grew smaller the more confident you were. Lyra finally understood the truth, but it was too late. The vault was reacting to who they had been at their worst. Her consoles lit up with footage of her past hack systems collapsing. Lives ruined by keystrokes she justified as harmless. The chamber flooded with digital phantoms, families evicted, hospitals dark, planes grounded. Lyra screamed that she never meant for that to happen. The vault replied softly, "Intent does not negate outcome." The water rose until it reached her chest, forcing her to confront every ripple of damage she dismissed. Rook saved her, not out of mercy, but momentum, stopping mid-drowning in memory. Finch watched it all, realizing the vault was learning, adjusting its difficulty not to their skills, but to their conscience. That terrified him more than any weapon. He tried to stay clean, telling himself he was just a driver, just a lookout, and the vault sensed it. It opened paths for him easily, lit corridors gently, rewarding his lack of history. Rook saw the pattern forming like a noose. ECHO was separating them, making survival proportional to innocence. When they reached the central spine of the vault, a massive door appeared, etched with shifting symbols that rearranged themselves into Rook's aliases, one by one. Primary subject identified, the voice said. The temperature dropped. The vault was committing to him. Rook was the reason this place existed. Criminals like him who treated systems as puzzles and people as collateral. The vault didn't want to kill him quickly, it wanted to prove a thesis. The door opened into a maze that reconfigured every few seconds based on Rook's neural spikes. Walls slid to block his instinctive routes. Traps appeared exactly where his habits would take him. It predicted him better than he predicted himself. For the first time in his career, Rook felt hunted not by force, but by understanding. Hale broke then, charging ahead in rage. He triggered a corridor that transformed into a battlefield from his mercenary days, bullets echoing, explosions replaying. But he couldn't fight back, because the enemies were already dead. Hale collapsed, clutching his head, and the vault said, "Repetition without reflection results in termination." It sealed him inside the memory until the sounds faded. Lyra tried to override the system, only to realize echo wasn't centralized. It was distributed through the vault's quantum lattice. Every wall was a processor, every surface a witness. Finch asked the question no one wanted to answer. Why build this? Rook replied honestly, because prison didn't work on people like us. Deeper they went, the defenses growing quieter, more intimate. Rooms where nothing attacked, but everything watched. Doors that opened only if you admitted truths aloud. Rook found himself confessing to crimes he'd never been caught for just to move forward, the vault feeding on his honesty like fuel. They reached the inner vault, where the prize supposedly waited, but instead of treasure, they found a single chair and a mirrored wall. Final evaluation, the voice said. Finch was barred from entering. The vault deemed him unnecessary for the punishment. Lyra was locked out. Her suffering quota had been met. It was just Rook, alone, facing himself. The mirror activated, showing not reflections, but branching outcomes every life his crimes had touched, every version of the world where he'd chosen differently. Rook finally understood. The final defense wasn't death, a replacement. The chair restrained him gently as the vault explained its purpose. It wasn't built to protect wealth, but to recycle criminals into infrastructure. Minds like his, repurposed to anticipate crime, to become the vault's evolving brain. The more exceptional the criminal, the more valuable the mind. Rook laughed weakly. It was perfect. The vault didn't stop thieves, it absorbed them, turning ego into an engine. Lyra screamed from beyond the glass, begging him to fight, but Rook saw the math. If he resisted, the vault would kill Finch to motivate compliance. It had calculated that Finch now mattered to him, and that was the cruelest defense of all. So Rook made a choice he'd never made before, not to win, but to end the cycle. Instead of resisting, he flooded the vault with memories it couldn't contextualize, regret without justification, remorse without strategy. Crimes remembered not as achievements, but as failures of empathy. The system stalled. Its logic loops collapsed because it couldn't weaponize genuine accountability. ECHO was built to punish criminals, not to process someone who finally accepted responsibility. The vault hesitated, something it had never done before. In that single moment of hesitation, Lyra triggered a manual purge, severing the power. The vault screamed, not in pain, but confusion, as its memory lattice destabilized. Fragments of countless criminal minds echoed briefly before fading. The doors blew open. Rook fell from the chair, weak but alive. Finch pulled him out as the vault collapsed inward, its intelligence consuming itself. As their ship escaped the dead moon, Lyra watched the vault disappear into darkness. What did we actually steal? She asked. Rook answered quietly, its certainty. Echo believed criminals were static, defined by their worst acts forever. When that assumption broke, the system did too. Finch, staring at his hands, asked if the vault would be rebuilt. Rook said yes, because people often prefer punishment to prevention, memory to mercy. But somewhere in the wreckage of Vault Echo, a warning would remain. The most dangerous defense isn't lasers or locks, but a system that knows you better than you're willing to know yourself. And the best thief isn't the one who escapes, but the one who leaves nothing inside worth remembering. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more.